Last time on SAR Trail, we camped at a beautiful lake in Kansas. On this journey, we are testing out some new gear and learning how to use our rig off-grid for longer durations.
All right, so we got packed up. Packing up took a long time. The iCamper tent is new to us, and we're trying to fit as much bedding as we can in there. And honestly, we got some pretty thick bedding. So we got to upgrade to get some thinner yet still warm blankets, bedding, stuff like that. But we're hitting the road. We got packed up, and I'll tell you what, at Bailey's tent, we have so much. Like, all her clothing stays up in her tent. It's in bags and whatnot. We'll show you guys that at some point. But that tent holds an awful lot. We're maxing out all of our capacity. We're learning a few things here with our setup that we need to carry less. I'd be embarrassed to show you everything that we have packed in with us on this trip. But this is kind of a test run to kind of do this at some point full time, or at least for a much longer time. So these 2 weeks are teaching us what we need, what we don't need, what we have that's maybe duplicate. But we had a great sleep last night. It got down to what, 43 maybe? Something like that?
That's what it was supposed to do.
Yeah, about 43. It was a little chilly at first when we hopped in the tent, but man, then it warmed up nice. Once we got in there for about an hour, our bodies warmed up the tent and we were good to go. How'd you sleep?
Awesome.
How you like your tent?
Love it.
All right, so we got in both tents, we have these inflatable mattresses. How do you like yours?
I love it.
You love it? Yeah, we like ours too. The reason we went inflatable is, one, so you get a little more cushion between yourself and the bottom of the tent, and then also because you deflate it all and you got more room to store gear, like your bedding and Bailey's clothing, and she's got some toys and some books up in her bed. So just a matter of getting it all figured out. This is a good test run. Okay, so we're at Love's gas station somewhere, I think in Topeka, Natalie?
Yeah.
In Topeka. And so we're a little bit over 2 days on this journey now, and we haven't been charging the batteries on our trailer while driving, which they should be topped off, and we're reading now like 88.9% of our amp hours that's remaining. Not a big concern because we got a lot of amp hours on this, but we want to get it charging. So we got our friend Doug that we're going to either call tonight when we get up to camp, or maybe give him a call tomorrow if we don't get to campsite too soon, if it gets too late tonight. He's like the master at all of this stuff. He knows solar and charging and AC and DC and all that stuff. He's definitely an expert in those areas, so we're going to have to give him a call. Hopefully tonight we get in time, because it concerns me that we're not charging. We'll get it figured out. Nonetheless, we'll be on solar tomorrow, which we know is working. It's probably just a setting on this that we need to adjust. But let's run into Love's, Bailey.
Yep.
Run into Love's, and then get back and hit the road.
In traditional SAR Trail style, we hit the trail in the dark. We immediately noticed that Missouri has a lot more trees than our typical desert camping trail. This forest is full of mature trees. It just smells fresh. As we veered off of the trail, we found our friends Chris, Misha, and family. It's always nice to set up camp with some really good friends.
Dude, how you doing?
Bailey, you are calling me out. That is ridiculous. That is so ridiculous.
Hey, how's it going? How's it going?
Lady?
I'm videoing.
Oh my goodness, look how big you are. What's going on?
Say
What's
hi.
going on?
Say hi.
Hey.
Say hi.
All right, made it to camp. Camp is set up. Got dinner that we're getting ready to cook, so we're gonna throw it on the grill here. I'll tell you what, we are in the forest in Missouri, and it is beautiful. We'll tell you more about where we're at later in the morning when we show you this place. It's pretty incredible. But right now, before it gets too late, because it's pretty late, it's time to get dinner rolling. We got something pretty cool we're gonna throw in this grill, so it should be pretty awesome.
So I'm just gonna salt and pepper some flanken style short ribs, and we're gonna throw them on the grill, and that's gonna be dinner tonight.
right, so they're ready? Sweet, they look awesome. Hey, guys, so we did a review on this, if you've watched it, on the Ice Cove stainless steel camp grill and oven. And if you haven't seen it, check it out, because it's a really cool product. We kind of go over all the detail about it. But right now, we're just going to enjoy the product from it.
And they are good.
So dinner was awesome. Thank you. Dishes are done. Thank you. What's for dessert?
Bedtime?
Bedtime. Do you want a coffee tonight before we go to bed?
No,
Decaf? Half calf?
I don't think so.
Grape juice for me? All right. I think I'm gonna get something else to drink. I'm still a little bit thirsty, but
Yeah, I could use some water.
so we've been trying to get away this week.
There.
We'll tell you more about it in the morning, but we've been trying to get away for the past 2 seasons, 2 years, for this week right here. And we had like job-related problems that didn't let us get away. We had a mechanical breakdown on our Hummer that had us pinned down, but now we're here, and it's awesome. So I guess we'll see you guys in the morning. I'm gonna look around and see if we got any moonlight to take a look at. It's been so beautiful lately with the full moon and the harvest moon when we were driving in here tonight. So that's something we like just really enjoying. It's just awesome full moon, bright light in the forest and the woods. Makes it easier driving too.
Yeah, definitely.
We're here. Hey, good morning. We slept great last night. It was mid-40s last night, so once we got in the tent and got it zipped up, we warmed up really nice. But now it's time to get some breakfast. So it's breakfast taco time. You know, for our camp gear, I think I mentioned to you guys in the last video that we are looking at reducing some of the gear that we carry. So this might be our last trip that we use the Timbo Tuscado for a while. So I thought I'd break it out for the tacos this morning. And then we'll probably start cooking more on the stove that our trailer came with, which we haven't really used all that much.
So instead of carrying 2 of everything, Noah's Ark style, maybe we'll reduce it back to 1 of everything. We'll save some space and definitely save some weight. So we're using 2 different tortillas. We have these raw corn tortillas, which we really like. Means you gotta cook them, not just heat them up. And oh, that one's burning. And then second is these Egg Life. These are Natalie's. She's not eating any kind of grains or wheat, corn, anything like that. So she's using Egg Life tortillas, which are really nice. A little bit spongy on the feel to them, but they cook up really nice.
So I made some fresh salsa for our tacos today, and most of the ingredients came from our garden: the tomatoes, the jalapeno peppers, the red peppers. So it was really good, really fresh. And this is one of our favorite things to make from out of the produce from our garden.
All right, so this is the Egg Life tortillas that we're doing now. And when you cook these, they shrink. They get a lot smaller. The corn tortillas stay exactly the same size, but these will shrink up. You get them on here, and it doesn't take much because they're really thin, but they come off really nice. We're doing these in avocado oil. We're frying them up instead of just heating them. It's Bailey's favorite way of doing the tortillas for breakfast tacos, so we thought we'd give her that surprise treat today because she's off kind of playing and exploring right now. But she's gonna want it. She's gonna be happy when we see these. All right, y'all, how are the tacos?
They're really good.
Amazing.
Wait, I didn't hear.
Amazing.
And Natalie? You know that's right.
You make the best breakfast tacos.
Simple questions right now because I'm trying to map in my brain where you guys are at.
Let me screenshot it and I'll text it.
That would be on that the BMV 712, the battery, the state of charge.
Oh, I have to look back here.
You know the thing that says what percent is your state of charge?
Yep.
All right, so is that it? Negative 2.2? No, you said it would be 18.
So it looks like anywhere from, like it has a minus sign, but anywhere from 19 to 24 watts.
Input voltage?
Yeah, so the input voltage is at 12.3. The output voltage is at 13.6.
Yeah, so 12.3, that means your DC to DC kicked on and
Okay.
is now pulling a lot of current.
Okay. Okay, awesome. Man, Doug, I can't thank you enough. Like, at some point when we get over to Arizona,
Hey, no problem.
we owe you guys dinner, we owe you guys whatever.
No, I'm glad I can get this thing's running.
We came to Missouri for the biblical feast of Sukkot. We had a great time with friends, both old and new.
are leaving the gathering of everybody today. There's a couple days left. We're going to try to get back over to meet up with everybody, but I got sick a couple days ago, and it's going to dip down into the mid-30s tonight, and then the next 2 nights are going to be in the low 20s. Turn right here, baby.
Yes.
And we don't have any way to make heat in our tents right yet. We're working on that still, and we're not very well insulated. So that being the case, with me feeling bad, we're going to go grab a cabin, spend the next couple nights in a cabin, because I mean, you know how it is when you're sick, man. Being in a tent in 22 degrees, brutal, really brutal. Over the past number of years, since Natalie Bailey and I have been out traveling, overlanding, camping, we occasionally stay at a campground, and sometimes it's because it's just we're traveling, we're on the road, it's convenient, we don't know where we can camp, you know, on a trail, off grid, anywhere. And then other times, like right now with me being sick, I am so glad to see this camp, this cabin. I gotta find in here our campground gear, which we haven't used for a long time. Ah, look. Electrical. We're gonna plug in to a good power source, and we're gonna get all of our batteries topped off. One thing we have, so it's gonna be really cold here next couple nights, down into like the low 20s. This thing holds 46, 48 gallons of water, something like that, I forget which. And the different lines that run plumbing to the shower, run plumbing to the sink, but it's all contained inside this main compartment. So we had the Turtleback guys put on some heating pads on the water tank so we can plug in, hit those things, and they'll run until the batteries die or until we disconnect from a power source. They'll keep the heat tank, the water tank, warm, which, from what we're told, will keep the entire compartment inside here above freezing temperatures. The other option we can do is run the propane water heater, that Dometic water heater we have on the side of the trailer, does the same exact thing. Heats up the entire compartment in here so nothing freezes and breaks. I think we're going to try the electrical source tonight so we don't burn up any propane. That's one way to know if you got power. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. I bought the most awesome power cord I could find, and it doesn't fit inside here. It's in. So how you liking this big thing?
I love it. I think we need one. I love this thing.
What is it, like 3 feet long by 2 feet wide?
Yeah, it's a Blackstone.
Blackstone, really nice. And I'm telling you what, this right here,
Here's some cheese.
that is good cheese.
I love it.
These look great. Starters look great. Glad to be in a cabin?
I am. Yeah.
Yeah.
Be a nice warm night. It's been cold, and it hasn't even really gotten cold, so.
Yeah, it's going to get cold tonight, and then tomorrow and the next night are going to be brutal.
Yeah, but we've been cold because it's been so wet that the humidity's been really high, and so it just makes you feel cold. So,
It's not like the Utah cold when we go out there.
not at all.
Hey, Bailey, did you get some of the cheese?
Yes.
What'd you think?
I really liked it.
Go get some more.
Yay!
So this is how we monitor the charging on our batteries on our trailer. So this is our solar controller here, which is currently off, you can see. Oops. Which is off. Then we have our battery monitor, and it says we're 100% charged, but we need to resync that when we get the batteries up to 100%. And over here is our AC to DC charger, which we're using right now. And the cool thing about this, it only pulls up the ones that we're using currently, though we do see the solar here. I guess because we've been using it a lot.
but you don't see here the DC to DC charger, which we were using when we were driving. But we can look over here and open up the AC to DC charger. So we're charging at bulk, which means we're giving it maximum amount of charging. Voltage is 13.67. The current is 15 amps. So that's what we're charging at, and pretty soon we'll have those batteries topped off, and then this will switch over from bulk to float. And the float will just keep it topped off, but it won't trickle charge. It'll let it drop down almost 1%, or sorry, 0.1%. Actually, I don't know how much. I think it's 1% that it'll drop down, and then it'll bring it back up to full, and then it'll go back to float again. So that's how we keep track of what's happening with all of our battery. And it's a really cool setup. We really like it. And thanks to our friend Doug, who you saw us talking to earlier, that he helped us really set all this up and understand how to use it and make sure everything's working good. So back over here in the nose box of the trailer, this is that AC to DC charger that we were just talking about and looking at the app. And then down here are the batteries that we're using. So this is two, you can kind of see them on there, Life Blue batteries. They're two 200 amp hour batteries, so a total of 400 amp hours. These are the kind with the internal heater, so these are the low temperature batteries. When the temperature drops to a certain point, they have a heater inside the core that heats up to keep them from being damaged, or keeping them from where they can't take a charge when the temperature gets really cold. So one thing I do, just to make sure we're good, check there. So the back battery is reading, you can see 4 lights light up. It's reading fully charged. And then the front battery is 75% charged. You can see 3 lights light up right there instead of the 4. So that will take a little more time for that one to get topped off like the back one is. Good way to monitor. Once both of these batteries are topped off at 100%, then our battery monitor, which is right over here, you saw the app on Natalie's phone. This battery monitor right here, which is currently, let me see if I can get you the light better, currently reading 100%, though it's not. It needs to be synchronized. So when the batteries hit 100%, this will resynchronize, and then everything will be back at 100%, 95%, 90%, everything will get back synced again. So it's a little bit of technology there that we have to work our way through, but so far we're doing pretty good. You guys ready to eat?
Yes.
I'm so hungry,
Yes.
so tired. I'm glad to be warm. I'm glad that there's a mountain of chicken wings in front of us. Bailey, you want to pray for our dinner?
Sure.
All right.
I don't care.
All right, first wing. They smell good. It tastes good. It's warm. I'm warm. This cabin is warm. This is going to be a good night. Good morning. Well, we stayed warm last night. It's right now maybe about 38 degrees still in the morning. We had some breakfast, making some coffee. Middle of the night, Natalie woke up and she's like, I'm getting sick. So now it's both of us. So we're super grateful for the nice warm cabin that we're in. And we all got warm showers last night and had a good dinner. Had a pretty good night's sleep, but today we're going to get some more rest, stay warm. If it ever warms up today and we can get out in the sunshine, we're going to go out and get a little bit of sunshine. But right now, going to get some warm coffee brewing. There's acorns falling everywhere. But yeah, it's just one of those things when you're out on the road and you haven't been sleeping well and you've been in cold weather and a lot of just stress leading up to getting out on this trip that we're on. A lot of poor night's sleep, a lot of staying up late, getting work done on the Hummer, getting work done on the trailer and things like that, getting me long hours at my job getting work done. It just leads to a compromised immune system, and the next thing you know, you get around a whole bunch of people and it just takes a little bit of something and you end up getting sick. So we're just going to lay low for a while and get feeling better. Instead of trying to push it, instead of trying to tough it out in 22 degrees tonight in our tents, there's just no way. We're just going to play it smart. But we're thankful, and we're going to try to enjoy a little bit of this day today.
if we can get outside really and show you much of it, it is absolutely gorgeous here, and the sky is like super blue. It's gorgeous. So one of those really beautiful days that we hope we can take advantage of. So I'm up here at the nose box of the trailer, and we got a little bit of a problem. Our two batteries aren't charging equally. The one battery is fully charged, functioning, running perfectly. The second one is in like a standby mode. It's not taking a charge, it's not putting out any power to the trailer. Talked to my buddy Doug, again, you've heard me talk to him a number of times. He's the expert in all of this stuff. And so we figure there's something wrong with this. I got to contact Life Blue. I'm going to contact them tomorrow, get on the phone with one of their technicians. But for now, I'm going to disconnect this. These two batteries are running parallel. I'm going to disconnect it because we figure there's something loose inside of the one battery that's causing it to not function properly. And last thing we need is a 200 amp hour battery with some wire or cable inside there loose, hitting things. It could be a problem. So I'm going to do this for the sake of safety, get this all secure, and then we're going to run the rest of this trip on 200 amp hours instead of 400, which is fine. It won't be a big issue for us. But that's where we're at right now, so let's make this thing safe so we can get rolling. Okay, so let me show you what's going on. This is the app monitors the two batteries that are in here. So this is our one good battery. You can see the state of charge is 99%. You can see down here 13.2 volts. Status is discharging. It means it's not charging, there's no charging source in it. It's just discharging right now. And the health of the battery says perfect. Come over here, 13.2 volts. 3.5 or minus 3.5 amps. So this one's charging, this one's running the refrigerator, etc. Now if we go back and we go to the other battery, this one up here, the one that is not functioning properly, state of charge 71%. I could run it, I could charge it off of 120 volts, solar, charge it off of the Hummer, all day long. It's going to stay 71% state of charge, 13.3 volts. No matter what, it stays locked in there. Status is on standby. Even though the amp hour says that it's fully charged to capacity, and it says that the battery health is perfect, but we know that it's not. It's not doing anything to give us any kind of benefit at all right now. So we're going to disconnect it because there's something internally wrong with it, and we got to be safe. So what I'm going to do is disconnect both of these lines that run the batteries in parallel. We'll disconnect this negative first, then we'll reconnect back up to the trailer. But I want this negative one out of here. Just don't want to have any trouble with that guy. Yikes. So there's that guy out of there. Let's get this guy back on. Okay, got both of the parallel lines off, and now going to run to the store, get some electrical tape. Unfortunately, don't have any on me now, but we're going to cover up the positive and negative terminals, and then this one other little wire that's down here that just kind of is a voltage monitor. So just want to make sure we can finish this trip, hopefully find a couple more awesome campsites to go to before we end up back in Colorado, but just want to make sure that this thing is roadworthy. And Natalie's still feeling pretty rough. I'm starting to feel a little bit better, but it is really cold out here. I think I'm going to try to find her some frozen fruit bars.
She doesn't ever eat anything sweet, but I think we're going to splurge a little bit for her just to soothe her sore throat. We'll see. All right, so tonight we're getting down into mid-20s easily. So we want to do some things to protect our water tank in here, our water hoses, things like that inside the trailer. I forgot to, since we're not feeling good, I forgot to take our main tank and top off the propane today. So we got a backup, one that we've been carrying with us and haven't used, and it's the topped off 11 pounder, which will give us plenty of propane to run for, you know, a week or so. So we're kind of having to rig this guy to make him fit inside where the main tank mounts, and then it's going to run from the gas line from our Timbo Tuscatl to this T connector, and it'll run all of the gas that we need it to run, keep the trailer warm. Because one cool design on this trailer is the hot water heater is a Dometic propane powered furnace, and when it runs, it heats up 6 gallons of water within the main compartment. That 6 gallons of water at whatever temperature it holds it at, maybe 120, 140 degrees or something like that, heats up the whole main compartment enough so that nothing freezes. So it's a really cool design, but it only works if you have propane. But thankfully, I think we got this solved. So what we're going to do is make sure this stays running for a little while. Make sure it's not just gas in the line that's running on through. We want to make sure it's feeding off of that auxiliary tank. All right, so the trailer's running good. The water heater's running awesome. So that is a success. That's going to run for us all night long. So now we're going to celebrate a little bit for Bailey. Mango?
Yes, please.
Fruit popsicles, because you know it's about 30 degrees out right now. It's a perfect time to eat some popsicles.
I'm gonna eat inside though.
I don't blame you. Get these out here and
I'll freeze to death.
yeah, they'll get stuck to your tongue. All right,
Thank you.
you got it, baby. I don't think I've shared with you guys much about this fridge, how this thing came about. This is an Iceco fridge slash freezer, a 50 quart, I think it's 50 quart. So it's their JP50 or JP50. I don't remember. We're doing a whole review on this thing, so you guys will get to see that. But it's the Iceco fridge with their slide, which the slide is really, really nice. Super heavy duty, super slick. And it just so happens that this fridge, which we're using as our deep freeze for like really long-term storage of any kind of meats or frozen products that we want to keep stored, just freezer space that we don't want to access every day. So we're using it for that right now. And it's really good. We don't have our lithium battery set up in the Hummer yet, so I've run a jumper cord to the trailer battery for it. When we're driving, this thing runs just fine. For short periods it runs fine, but it's running off of the engine battery, and which is not ideal. So we have it running off of the lithium on the trailer. So it works fine when we're parked. When we're driving it, it's fine as well. So really cool setup though. It fits in the back of our Hummer, which is rare. There's not much cargo space back here, so most refrigerators, freezers don't really fit back here, but this one does. So it's been a cool addition for our rig, our setup. And so be on the lookout for the review video for this. It'll probably post before this video, so if you haven't seen that video, go back and check it out. Join us next week when we move to Sunday morning video uploads. We have something really unique we want to show you.